Hi, I'm Gigi. Welcome to the Yoga Collective. I'm here with Marielle today and also with Stephanie. We're going to be working a sequence called Off the Wall today, part of a series. Today's sequence is going to lead us up into handstand. So we'll be working all the muscles, the core muscles, adductors, inner thighs, abductors, outer thighs, stabilizers of the hip, so that we can become very strong in order to practice handstand. Even if you have no intention whatsoever of practicing handstand, join us. It'll help to strengthen your core, like I said, legs, glutes, and also build stability, confidence, tenacity. So we're going to start actually in a seated position, like a seated meditation with our backs against the wall. So I'm going to have Steph actually sit up on a blanket. And they're both going to cross in the center of their shins. Okay, and in Sukhasana, one thing to observe is the feet. So we want the feet directly under the ankles. And Marielle, I'm actually going to have you walk your feet forward a little bit. Okay, so feet under the ankles as much as possible. You want to flex your feet so much that you feel the outer edges of your feet really solidly pressing into the ground. Soles of your feet facing opposite directions. Good. And so we're not just actually kind of sitting here, we're already getting to work a bit. I'm going to have you draw the sides of your hips in. Good. And when you do that, you feel a little bit of a lift out of the base of your spine and growing a little bit taller. Okay. You can allow your eyes to close at this point. Using the wall for support. Take a deep, full inhale and lift from your belly to your chest. Widen your collarbones. A nice opening across your collarbones. And on your exhale, soften your shoulders, your jaw, your face, and your tongue. Okay, and here you may have your palms up or down on your knees. That's your choice. Let's take a deep, full inhale. Pause your breath at the top. Through your nose, long, slow exhale. One more time, deep, full inhale. And long, slow exhale. And let's just take a moment to start to move into Ujjayi breath. So now breathing in and out through your nose, slight constriction in the base of your throat. Every inhale growing you a little taller. Every exhale, you're able to engage your abdomen and maybe soften somewhere that doesn't need to work. Let's join your palms together at your heart. Anjali Mudra. Maybe take a moment to offer. Anjali means offering. Mudra means seal. So offer maybe a moment of gratitude, maybe an intention for your practice or dedication. And release your hands, allow your eyes to blink open. Okay, and we'll get to work. Okay, so our first pose that we'll do is Adho Mukha Svanasana at the wall, which is downward facing dog. So I'm going to have Marielle go ahead and come to hands and knees. She's going to bring her heels up against the wall. She's getting close enough, and so her heels are actually up, almost like she's wearing high heels, so you can actually elevate your heels a little bit. And this is a really great variation for those of you that have tight hamstrings, also those of you that have tight hip flexors, so your psoas, even glutes, tight glutes will benefit from this, okay? And I'm going to have actually Stephanie come up and stand and do puppy dog. So to find puppy dog, okay, essentially you want to find a 90-degree angle between your torso and your legs. I'm going to have her come up and bring her hands on the wall. Okay, good. And then kind of step away from the wall until she has a basic L shape. Now Stephanie's blessed. She has pretty open hamstrings. Those of you with tighter hamstrings, you can feel free to bend your knees a bit. Okay. So in puppy dog, a couple of things that can happen. Sometimes we tend to puff the armpit chest down towards the floor, or we sink into our lower back. I'm going to ask Stephanie to wrap upper outer arms towards the floor, biceps to the ceiling, and to pull her bottom ribs in. Okay, inner thighs are rolling back in space. Beautiful. And the sides of her hips are firming in. Gorgeous. Good. Now Marielle's form is beautiful here. You can see that she's spreading across the tops of her shoulders. She's firming her biceps and triceps in. Her head and neck are hanging freely. She's got a beautiful long line of energy. Good. Now, if she wanted to bring it up another notch, she can actually release her heels flat onto the floor and give her heels kind of a good push into the wall for feedback. She'll need to walk her hands forward just a little bit. Good. Very nice. Now here, she's going to really feel her calves lengthening towards her heels. And Marielle, do you feel your feet are working a little bit more with your heels against the wall? That's the benefit of practicing standing poses at the wall, or one of the benefits, is we get the alignment correct. Also, we are engaging the muscles of our legs and our feet more. Okay, beautiful ladies, both of you, thank you. So go ahead, Stephanie, you're going to release and clasp your elbows, hang in Uttanasana. Marielle, walk your feet back to your, or walk your hands rather back to your feet. Both are good. And also clasp your elbows and hang for a couple of breaths in Uttanasana. Those of you with tight hamstrings, you can bend your knees here and have your glutes against the wall, your bum against the wall for support. Okay, beautiful. Now to come out of this, little bend in your knees, hands to your hips. I'd like you to widen across your collarbones and inhale, lift from the pelvic floor to come all the way up to stand. Great, okay, good. So our next pose that we'll practice is chair pose, Utkatasana at the wall. Okay, my new favorite poses in life. Okay, so Marielle's going to do the more challenging version. I'm going to have Marielle actually bring a block in between her thighs the narrow way. I'm just going to hold onto a block here for a second, and we'll come to that in a moment. Okay, you're going to practice just with your hands to your hips, Stephanie. Stephanie is the lucky one today. So to find chair pose at the wall, you basically just kind of lean yourself against the wall, and then start to bend your knees and walk your feet forward until you have a 90-degree angle. Sometimes it's good to actually have a mirror or another person to help you find that 90-degree angle, as it can be challenging. Good. Okay. So with Marielle, I'm going to have you bring your back to the wall. Important for both ladies. So essentially, we want to feel the belly is engaged, but we do actually want a natural arch in the lower back. So I could actually sneak my hand behind her lower back. She's not kind of tucking her tailbone in. She's gently drawing her abdomen in, okay? Good, Stephanie, hands to hips, beautiful love. Broaden your collarbones so you're working your shoulders, and draw your bottom ribs in. Now Marielle's going to draw her arm bones into her shoulder sockets. And then inhale, she's going to bring her arms just in line with her eyebrows. Maybe a little higher for her body, good. And she's going to wrap her upper outer arms and her outer shoulder blades forward. Okay. And they're stoked, right? Okay. So this is a great pose, one of those poses I mentioned that helps to build strength and stability and tenacity. I have a joke about chair pose because some people, these ladies look so calm and even actually beatific, but some people actually want to get out of chair pose as soon as they're in it. The way you deal with chair pose is the way you would deal with life, I'm pretty sure. These ladies have both very soft minds. So there's a tendency sometimes to tuck the chin. I want you to bring your head back just a little bit, love. There you go, head in line with your spine. You can do this up to 5 minutes if you wanted to. I doubt you will. Okay, go ahead and release your arms. Go ahead, just move your block off to the side, and then you can both take Uttanasana at the wall, clasping your elbows. How is that? Is that good? Heating, right? Steph, bring your bum against the wall and just kind of rest a little bit. Yeah, bending your knees. And here you can let your head shake your head gently, yes or no. Okay. Good, and we'll come out a different way. This time, release your arms, put a little bend in your knees, and I'd like you to exhale and slowly roll all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Allow your head to be the last part of your body to come up. Okay, beautiful. So now we have some heat. Our next pose is going to be Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana at the wall. So I'm actually going to give Stephanie a strap here, okay? If you don't have a strap at home, you can use a towel. You could also use an old tie. I mean, even a rope, as long as it's comfortable, a belt, okay? So to find Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana, have both of you ladies turn around. You want to put your foot against the wall until you find more or less a 90-degree angle again between your torso and your leg. Okay. Good. All right. And we have Stephanie bring the strap around her foot. Okay, very nice. And Marielle, please bring your hands to your hips. So a couple of things that happen in this pose pretty much automatically. We'll tend to tuck the tailbone. Even the most flexible or the strongest student will tend to do that. So here we want to emphasize pressing the thigh bone of the standing leg back. Even if it means the lifted leg knee is bent. I'm not really concerned with the lifted leg being straight at all. Focus on the standing leg being firm when you draw your hamstrings and your quadriceps away from your kneecap. Again, press the standing leg thigh bone back. Okay, now both ladies, I would like you to take your right hand to your right hip and nudge your right hip down away from your right shoulder. You feel a little stretch? It helps to open up the quadratus lumborum, lower back, outer hamstring area. Okay, very nice. Now, go ahead, take a deep inhale, lift navel to sternum, widen your collarbones. Okay, keep pulling your right sit bone back and then exhale. You're both going to start to reach your right arm back in space. Press your right shoulder blade into your chest. And Marielle, you can reach your left arm out as well if you feel comfortable. Beautiful. So here again, we're getting a nice twist. We're opening up the spine. We're also working our obliques, our transverse abdominis muscles, and of course, muscles of our legs. Keep drawing the sides of your hips in for stability. Take one more deep inhale. Okay, now you're both going to exhale and slowly turn forward. Marielle, please bring your arms up next to your ears. And Stephanie, you can just bring your hands to your hips. Just for 3. Your broad collarbones, 2. And exhale, release. And take a moment. Okay, both feet down. Okay, how's that? Building some heat, right? So building some heat from the inside out. There's different ways we can build heat. We can build heat from flow, but also from holding standing poses as the legs have the largest muscles in our body. Okay, so second side, please. So Stephanie will bring the strap to the left foot. Her strap will be in both of her hands. Marielle's going to bring her left foot onto the wall, hands to hips. If you need to adjust your stance from right to left, sometimes that is the case. Some of us have a leg that's slightly longer or, maybe a little bit of scoliosis in the spine. So if you feel that you need to, lengthen or shorten your stance, you will. At first, okay, for both of you, I'm going to have you both put a little micro bend in your lifted leg knee. Good. Focus on pressing your standing leg thigh bone towards your hamstring. Draw the sides of your hips in. Remember when you had the block in between your thighs for Utkatasana. So get that same sort of lift from navel to sternum. Now, Stephanie, I'm going to have you widen your collarbones, kind of relax your relationship with your strap just a little bit. Good. All right. And then breathe. A couple of breaths here. Left sit bone draws down, wide collarbones, and gaze is steady. You can see that working at the wall is also helping to build a tremendous amount of focus as well. Okay, so now, Stephanie, both ends of your strap in your left hand. In your right hand. Both of you bring your left hand to the crease of your hip and your thigh. Marielle will reach your right arm forward. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, start to twist open. Press your shoulder blades into your chest and reach your left arm back. Beautiful form, ladies. Very nice. Now check in with that standing leg. Did it start to bend a little bit? Try to keep that thigh bone pressing to hamstring. Soften your shoulders any amount. Head in line with your spine. So head up. Beautiful. And then go ahead, exhale, start to look forward and bring your arms next to your ears, Marielle. And then you can just bring hands to hips, Stephanie, just for 3. Left sit bone draws down, 2. Good. And then 1. And then go ahead and release. Okay, I'm going to recommend that you go back for today's video. I'm not going to show it, but I recommend actually that you go back to doing a down dog at the wall. In fact, you can do a down dog in between all of these poses, sort of as a reset. Okay, the next pose that we're going to do is Warrior 3 at the wall. So I'm going to take actually Marielle's blocks and bring them over to Stephanie. So you can just stay where you are and turn around, basically. And I'll take your strap, love. Okay. Those of you with tight hamstrings, those of you that are newer to the practice, you can have blocks. Okay, you're both going to bend your knees. Okay, take a deep inhale, and then on your exhale, start to reach your right leg back and bring your foot on the floor. Good. And start to slowly drop your torso down. You can bring your hands on the floor for now. And then work on straightening your standing leg. So same thing, focus on your standing leg a little bit first. Make sure you're in the right place. Okay. Once you have the right position, I'm going to have you both put a tiny little micro bend in your standing leg knee. Pull your left hip back. Okay, so standing leg hip draws back. Do you feel that? Good. Start to straighten your leg, press your thigh bone towards the wall. Marielle's going to come onto her fingertips. You're both going to inhale, draw your shoulder blades in and down. Okay, and it's a lot. This is already a lot, right, ladies? I mean, this is plenty of core work. If you wanted to take it up a level, you could bring your hands to your hips. Not easy, right? Yeah, so this is, again, not necessarily a beginning practice. I did the same thing. I did it. I had my hands on my hips for not that long. Okay. And here it's really allowing us to work our back, press shoulder blades in and down. Beautiful. Okay, nice, ladies. Okay, both of you release, and I'd like you to both just take a moment and hang in Uttanasana. Clasp your elbows. Take a forward fold. Rest. So this is, again, a heating, strengthening pose. Virabhadrasana 3 is one of the hardest standing poses, I think, that exists in all of Hatha Yoga, if not one of the hardest poses, most challenging poses in general. Really important to take this little break so you allow yourselves to reset and also to stretch your hamstrings and your lower back. Okay. Let's move to the second side now. Okay, so when you're ready, go ahead and just bring your other leg, okay, up onto the wall, so left leg. And take a moment. Let's have you bring your foot down just a little bit. I'd like you both to micro-bend your standing leg knee. Now, what I like to have students do when they bend the standing leg knee is to pull the right hip back. You can see that decompresses our lower back. And you're good on this side. Beautiful. Then you can start to straighten your standing leg by pressing your thigh bone towards your hamstring, drawing your hamstrings and quads away from your knees. Good. Okay. Now, you're both going to inhale, lengthen navel to sternum area. You're going to come onto your fingertips. On your exhale, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Okay, you're going to stay right there, Steph. And Marielle's beautifully, very gracefully. This time I'm going to bring hands to hips, broaden across collarbones, head in line with the spine. Okay, and belly is gently hugging in. It's not a grip or a hardness, but rather a support. Good. Nice. Okay, take one more deep inhale. And then exhale, just fold over your leg and come to Uttanasana once again. Take a break. Clasp your elbows. Virabhadrasana 3, building core strength, leg strength, glute strength, strengthening our back. Okay. And then go ahead when you're ready, hands to hips, broaden across your collarbones, a little bend in your knees, inhale, slowly come all the way up. Okay, so again, you could take a downward dog in between just for the reset. Let's focus now on handstand. I'm going to give you two different variations. We'll do Steph's variation first. I like to give this variation to people who are newer to inversions, but make no mistake, it's not physically easier than handstand. In fact, in some ways, I think it requires more strength. If a person has strength enough to do this prep, then I like to tell them if they feel confident enough, if they want to, they are ready to go to handstand. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to have Stephanie turn around facing the wall. Okay. And then let's come back to the puppy dog shape just for a moment, just to make sure we're in the right place. Sometimes we shift. Good, so we've got her puppy dog shape, we've got her L-shaped 90-degree angle. I'm going to mark off, and you can kind of visually keep in mind to have people just sort of stay in place, but I'm going to mark off where her heels are, because that's essentially where you're going to want the heel of your hands. Good stuff. Put a little bend in your knees, bring your hands to your hips, and inhale, come up slowly, and just hokey-pokey turn yourselves around. Okay, perfect. Now you're going to bend your knees and place the heel of your hand essentially kind of like right where the blocks are, okay? Good, and then she's going to start to walk her feet up the wall, and I'm going to ask her first just to walk her tippy toes up, just tippy toes, not the whole foot, just tiptoes. Yep, tiptoes, perfect, good, good, good. Okay, now she's about at a 90-degree angle. Now this is important. She's on her tippy toes, perfect. Let's forget the legs for a moment and work on the upper body. So first I'm going to ask her to firm her biceps and triceps in, beautiful. Let her head hang. I want you to lift your hips up towards the sky. Yes. Pull belly in, and then maybe start to press your thigh bones to the ceiling so your heels come to the wall. How's that feel?
Good.
Good, yeah. And she could be like even a tiny bit closer to the wall, but this is fine for now. The closer you are into the wall, the more like the 90-degree angle is, yeah, the more core challenge it is. Good, and remember to let your head hang. Beautiful. This is really nice if you have a neck injury too, as you can really allow your head to hang. When she's ready to come down, she can just walk her feet down and take a child's pose, toes together, knees apart, and just rest. Is that challenging physically?
Yep.
Yeah, it does. It builds heat, it builds strength. Okay, Marielle's going to do, she's our handstander today, Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. So she's going to come into down dog. You know, generally, if you want to use the wall for balance, which we will today, Marielle, let's just use the wall for balance. She doesn't really need it, but we're going to do it as though she does. You want to be about 1 inch to 2 inches away from the wall. It depends on your height. Perfect. Good. Now she's in down dog. She's going to walk her dominant leg forward. If you're right-handed, it's usually your right leg. Okay, good. Now the bent knee is going to be her motor The straight leg is going to be her leader. She's going to lead with her inner thigh. She's going to shift her shoulders over her wrists, and exhale, kick up. Good. Now, one thing I like to do, Marielle, let me see how you feel about this, is I like people to keep both feet on the ground until they're really ready to go up. So bend your right leg knee a little bit more. Come high onto your toes. Good. Look forward. Take an inhale. And exhale, kick, kick with your inner thigh. Perfect. Good. Now, she's using a lot of control. She's really using her core rather than just kind of going up with momentum. Kick, kick. Good, good, good. Okay. Now, once she's up, she's going to draw her bottom ribs in, her tailbone in. Okay, this is one variation. Another variation is to bend your legs, bend your knees, and bring your feet on the wall, 90-degree angle. This is a wonderful variation to build core strength. Now, Marielle, I want you to draw your tailbone in and your belly in. Boom. Feel that? Good. And now maybe you can slowly start to work on straightening your legs, spreading your toes. Gorgeous. And the wall's there if you need it. Very nice. Now to come down, exhale, pull your navel to your spine, and slowly come down. And you can also take a child's pose, toes together, knees apart. Thank you. Great. So, Adho Mukha Vrikshasana handstand prep and Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. Okay. And then now the best for last. One of the best poses in yoga, the most effective and healing poses we have is Viparita Karani. We're going to do it at the wall. Viparita Karani at the wall. Viparita Karani means lake pose. Okay, so I'm going to have you both turn around. Marielle, you're going to just go ahead and bring your right hip right against the wall and then swing your legs up the wall. And I'm going to put a blanket under your head. Okay, Steph, I'm actually going to set you up in another variation. Okay, so many people's bodies are happiest with no blanket. Okay, I'm one of those people. Now there are others, and it kind of depends on what's going on with your sacrum, your lumbar spine. Many people actually prefer to have a blanket. And the blanket, there's no kind of hard and fast rule with how much space. But essentially you want the smooth edge of the blanket, I'd say about, for Stephanie, about 2 inches away from the wall. Some of you, it might be like 2.5 inches, some of you 1 inch. You're going to bring one hip up against the wall. Can be either one. Good, and then you're going to move in close to the wall and kind of let your bum, your tailbone, your coccyx sort of hang off the blanket. Does that feel comfortable? Yep. Good. And you're going to come on back. Okay, Marielle's going to have her hands by her sides, palms up. Okay, for you, I'm actually going to have you take a cactus shape with your elbows bent. Make sure you relax your shoulders away from your ears if you're in this variation. Good. You're going to allow their eyes to close. Okay, take a deep, full inhale. Pause, breath at the top. Deep exhale, release. Beautiful. This pose you can take for as long as is comfortable for your body. The benefits of this pose are many. So for one thing, we are doing a passive forward bend. Okay, we're allowing our hamstrings to release. We're also releasing our hips. Okay, it stabilizes of our hips. We're reducing any kind of congestion in the veins, in the legs. So working with the circulation. We're helping to improve digestion. You can really see, especially with the blanket, that it's actually allowing this tilt that brings greater circulation and flow into the abdominal area, so it's nourishing our abdominal organs. And of course, the stomach is our second brain, so as soon as we start to relax, with that relaxation, that flow in our tummies, our brain starts to relax as well. Okay, our mind says all as well. Okay, so again, this could be for as long as you'd like. I'd say minimum 3 minutes. It really takes about 3 minutes for inversions to start to work their magic. So 3 minutes is minimum. Okay, now to come out, let me go ahead and say, use your exhale, just let your knees drop towards your chest. Good. And as an option, you can bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart, and just maybe bring your hands to your inner thighs and gently move your thighs towards the wall. And avoid the knee joint. That's it, Steph. Great. And knees back to chest. You're both going to extend your right arm overhead, roll onto your right side. And take a couple of breaths here in the fetal position. you're ready, you'll press yourselves all the way up to any comfortable seated position. You can come back to Sukhasana. And again, palms to heart, Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment to acknowledge the teacher within. When we say namaste, namaste means the light and divinity within me acknowledges the light and divinity within you. So with that, blink your eyes open. Namaste.